Our next speech is from Jamie, and Jamie is going to be talking about the power of community sports. The power of community sports. Let's welcome Jamie.
Here we go. Okay, community sport offers opportunity to make friends, learn real life skills, and create everlasting memories. The real beauty of it is everyone gets their own story that makes them feel unique and part of something bigger. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be playing. The coaches, support staff, and committee members work behind the scenes. The parents and supporters cheer on their kids early every Saturday and Sunday morning. All have their own journeys. Being a member of a sporting club at any level satisfies three important social requirements. Feeling a sense of belonging. My family are members of the Parky Demons Football Club. And as a club, we get together every Wednesday evenings and Sunday mornings each winter. A sense of responsibility. My job is to ensure that all the Oz kickers have fun and learn the basics. My sons turn up to every training session and play their best every week in all kinds of weather, not to let their teammates down. And finally, an identity. We are Parky Demons. This year, as Auskick coordinator, I won the Club Person of the Year. Our Auskick Centre doubled in size, leading us to win the Swan District's Auskick Centre of the Year award. These are achievements I was really proud of. However, they're not the most important or most powerful thing that happened to me during the year. During the season, several of the Auskickers, children aged between 6 and 8, approached me to sign their Safe Person Agreement. This agreement formed part of their school's child safety program, where the children were asked to nominate 5 people that they could go to if they felt unsafe. To think that these kids that I spent 2 hours a week with thought of me as one of those people just about brought tears to my eyes. If I don't move on quickly, I might just well up now. Studies have shown that children who play sport are 15% more likely to be optimistic, 14% more likely to be happy and satisfied with their life, and 10% more likely to be able to regulate their emotions. These numbers are quite impressive. However, when you line them up against other activities, they become significantly more so. This is where the numbers start making an impact. Children who play video games and use social media rather than playing sports had lower levels, nearly almost always had lower levels of well-being. Up to 9% less likely to be happy, up to 8% less likely to be optimistic, and 11% more likely to give up on things. At my children's school, they have a grandparents and special friends day, where they can visit the classrooms for a couple of hours to have a look at the work that the children have completed. The special friends option is for children who don't have a grandparent that can make it. A child in my oldest boy's class, and a fellow Parky Demon, was one such child, where his grandparents or living grandparents were in the UK. The boy asked his father if it would be okay if he could ask his football coach to attend. However, being quite shy in nature, he actually asked his dad if he could do it for him. I was lucky enough to witness this heart-to-heart conversation, and whilst I could not hear what was said, I could clearly see the tears running down the faces of both men at the end. That's powerful. So if you feel that you are lacking a sense of identity, a sense of belonging or responsibility, if you want to improve your child's outlook on life and increase their likelihood of being happy, I urge you to get on down to your local footy, tennis, rugby, soccer, or any other local sporting club and get involved. It will change your life.
Well done, Jamie. You convinced me. That was a great speech. Jamie, can I just say, were you reading that, or
I was reading it.
Were you just prompted?
I was reading it.
That's all right. That's all right. The flow was good. I like what you had. All right. The power of community sport. Excellent. Good. And our last speech this session was from Jamie. And Jamie, you were being evaluated by Angela. And Angela, Jamie was looking at structure and using some linguistics, which was what I thought was pretty cool. And also, how did his message flow through? So Angela, what sort of pearls of wisdom have you got for Jamie, and how are we going to lift that level?
I don't know if it's pearls of wisdom, but I definitely have some words. So I thought your structure was good. You had a really great progression where you started off quite broadly, and you sort of set the context and set the picture very early on, and then you started going more and more into detail slowly. And then the other thing that you did was you followed some of the emotional areas with stats, which I thought was a really good contrast, and it balanced things out quite a lot as well. You also linked back to the numbers when you made a point about it, and you said, this is where we really see the impact of the numbers. And I thought that was really good in sort of tying it back to the earlier parts of your speech. In terms of the linguistics, I liked that you said it was a unique part of something bigger. So that really highlighted how unique it was. I also like the visual element you used, where you said parents would wake up early in the morning to cheer on their kids. So that was like quite visual in my head. I could see it happening. And then your overall message, I think, was quite powerful. You had a lot of supporting statements for it. You had the stats for it as well. And you also had the emotional aspect for it. Another thing, you also used the rule of 3. And that was really clear when you spoke about it. And I think your final message, where you said it will change your life, was just very strong to finish on.
Angela, I would disagree. You did have some great pearls of wisdom. That were great, because I agree with all of it. Jamie, you came out of the blocks really striking well. Used a case study. An emotional one when it wasn't about winning the annual social event, or sorry, you were picked out of the whole area, and it's all about the club, and it was all about you. You actually brought us down to a little person saying, could you be part of the SAFE program? And that just hits our heart straight away. And folks, I'd like to be able to just take that as an example when we put accolades up like, I've got a degree in, or I have, or we have created or won, versus something that's emotionally charged that hits us straight away, like that little person coming up to Jamie and saying, could you be my safe person? Or could you be the pseudo grandfather? Those sort of things have impact. And if we can find those, rather than the big stuff, the Everest, all we just need is the little piece of the Sherpa. So that was really well done, Jamie. I love it. You used statistics, but you did it really well, because you had the improvement, the 10% of optimism, 15% of optimism, 10% of happy. And then you actually took us across and said, children that are looking at the screen or on social media, and how it was down and down and down, that beautiful comparison. So you really covered a lot of scope on that one. And of course, at the end, like Angela said, it will change your life. Very strong. And I was convinced of what you gave us. So your structure was good. You had the flow. I like some of your linguistics. Maybe a couple of opposites would have been nice, the highs and lows. And then your message was very clear. But how do we actually move it up a little bit further? And I'd like to see your headline open stronger. So you did use that, have you been involved? But I'd like you to be a bit more creative on something with a bigger statistic, a bigger story, a bigger case study, a quirky bit of knowledge. Have you ever been a pseudo granddad before? But even asking us that, give us something a little bit more out of the norm, off to the right. That was great, Jamie. Thank you very much. You've got a nice little sequence there. I'd like to see more of that. Looking forward to next week's.